Welcome, of course, to the new Dominica Chinese Friendship Hospital, and more specifically the famous HIFU room, the radiology department, of which this modern state-of-the-art piece of equipment immediately to my back is part of the new services that are going to be offered pretty soon to the Dominican public. I felt it necessary, in fact, we felt it necessary that we do this short presentation, mainly, of course, to educate Dominicans as to what is it that is going to be on offer, what is it that the new services that we're going to offer at the new hospital, and also, of course, to dispel a lot of the miseducation that is going on out there. Now, to my immediate back, as you can see, this is in living color, not a figment of your imagination. You can touch it, of course, plastic new equipment. The technical folks are here. They can allude to the fact that it is also not leased or rented or borrowed for PR purposes. In fact, the hospital project came apart from the infrastructure and other basic equipment like beds, etc., would have come with a number of new equipment, including an MRI. Now, we felt it necessary, as I said, to put it in simple terms, what this wonderful piece of equipment do. For those of you, I'm sure a lot of you with access to the internet, etc., would have Googled this, especially after this controversy going around, and would have found out that this is not so much of a new technology. In fact, this technology has been around for the past decade and a half, but it has only recently been approved by the Food and Drug Administration of America. So outside of this, we still had other developed countries like Australia, Canada, who would have been using this equipment to treat various forms of cancers. But we know that a lot of us like to use America as our benchmark, and the FDA in particular as it pertains to pharmaceuticals, equipment, and otherwise. So it was finally approved by the FDA back in 2016, if I recall, back in 2016 to begin what they call non-invasive surgical treatment. And the Honorable Prime Minister was right in his utterances when he said that it's non-invasive. And this is a surgical piece of equipment where you don't have to undergo a surgeon's scalpel anymore. Now, what is the HIFU? Now, the HIFU, as the acronym stands for, is High Intensity Focused Ultrasound. And a lot of us, especially women with children, okay, you would have accessed the services of an ultrasound at a number of times during your pregnancy term. So this is basically using the same ultrasound waves, but as the name suggests, in a more focused way. If I may take you back to your childhood when you recall using, well, back in the countryside, we would use pieces of glass, where you would have it reflect the rays of the sunlight onto a piece of paper or some dry bush, and in some cases you would start a fire. This is the same concept, but instead of using light, you're using the ultrasound, invisible ultrasound waves, and you focus it into an area. Now, the intelligent thinking ones among us can now begin to say, well, yes, if you can now focus this energy somewhere, there should be some medicinal use for it. So the main use, as I'm sure you would have found out, or maybe even listening to speak, would be to treat tumors, both benign tumors and certain malignant tumors, especially prostate cancer. It has been proven particularly useful in the treatment of prostate cancer. But in recent months, in recent years, they've also been used in treatment of kidney, liver, among many others. In fact, they're now exploring its use in brain tumors and other cardiovascular lesions, circulatory issues, etc. To dispel the myth that it is a cosmetic tool. So yes, this technology has been used over the years, anti-aging procedures and anti-wrinkling, etc. Okay, but this wonderful piece of equipment we see is a surgical tool. And in fact, this particular model, a GC200, I think, costs well in excess of over $2.5 million US. Okay, I want to state that again, $2.5 million US. Okay, so this is, as I said, right here for you to see, to touch, feel in living color. We of course look forward to the commissioning of the hospital, where this service can now be available to the public, and in particular our men with prostate issues, both benign and of course malignant, meaning enlarged prostates that are not malignant, not cancerous, and even cancer tissues. I don't want to go in out there saying that we have something to treat all cancers. It can only be used to treat what they call localized cancers, localized tumors. In other words, if the cancer already spread to your lymph nodes and other parts of your body, this machine will not be useful, okay? So it's an effective tool, especially in early diagnosis. And I think my friend was mentioning also breast cancers and breast tumors, both malignant and benign tumors. It's also noteworthy to know that, and again, the Honorable Prime Minister was right in his utterances when he said that we are one of 2 Caribbean islands with this piece of technology. I'm still researching. I'm not too sure, question mark on Trinidad, but I can speak to Bahamas. Outside of the Bahamas, we are the only one I know that with this piece of equipment. And also, my cabinet colleagues here would also attest to the fact that this high-powered PAHO team that visited cabinet a few weeks ago and made a presentation to cabinet, they would have mentioned this equipment, that they think that we are now well poised to promote our medical tourism package. So Dominica, apart from it, of course, clean, green, pristine environment, we now have this wonderful piece of equipment that is not available, well, I can safely say anywhere else in close proximity in the Caribbean. So this is definitely something that we can package. And no, just to reassure the locals, though, you'll not be sidelined or marginalized, okay? Every intervention, of course, comes with its own side effects, its own, you know. But the fact that the FDA has cleared this, it means that the minimal have been outweighed by the potential benefits by using this equipment. There have been reports of course, pain, of course, if you burn something. Oh yes, and that's the other thing. When you focus the ray, it can work by 2 ways, either like what you call mechanical disintegration, or you focus it that you produce heat energy to actually burn the tumor. So of course you will feel pain in the area for a little while. As I said, it has been cleared by the FDA that these side effects are really at a minimum. So all of these scaremongering tactics, you know, to get people to understand that we're just making a big hula-bula about nothing. Okay, here you have it for yourself, folks. Okay.